Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, January 26th, 2025. And I want to talk to you about Lunar New Year. We have some information that is going to connect us with everything else we're watching between January 28th and January 29th. Let us consider Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year is the beginning of a new year based on the lunar calendars, informally but more widely, luni-solar calendars. Typically, both types of calendars begin with a new moon, whilst a lunar calendar year has a fixed number, usually 12 of lunar months. Luni-solar calendars have a variable number of lunar months, resetting the count periodically to resynchronize with the solar year. The event is celebrated by numerous cultures in various ways at diverse dates. The determination of the first day of a lunar year or a new lunar or lunar solar year varies by culture. The better known celebrations include New Year's based on the lunar Islamic calendar, luni-solar Jewish calendar that originated in the Middle East, luni-solar calendar, Chinese calendar, Tibetan calendar of East Asia, and the lunisolar calendar of the Buddhist and Hindu calendars of Southeast and Southeast Asia. Okay, let's look at the Lunar New Year. In iPetGoat, they are focusing on a New Year event here, and this is a Lunar New Year in China in iPetGoat. It's the Chinese Lunar New Year, as this is going to show the incident in Tiananmen Square. So let me play this clip and you will see that this is connected, and then I will show you from history that this is the Chinese Lunar New Year. Okay, starting here with the tanks and then moving on to the New Year fireworks. Okay, this event happened in the revolution of Tiananmen Square in Beijing, China. This here is one of the most famous pictures of this revolution that happened in Tiananmen Square in Beijing, China. And this is what that is representing. And so we have the connection to China. And then through the fireworks, we have the connection to the Lunar New Year. Okay, so as we look at the Chinese New Year, okay, we're going to see that in 2025, okay, January 29th will be the first day of the year of the snake. Okay, January 29th. If we go back to the year 2000, okay, the only other connection we have to January 29th as the first day of the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, is 2006. Okay. In 2000, it was February 5th. 2001, it was January 24th. This changes every year because it is based on the new moon. Okay, and so going down the list, we're going to be able to see that only 2006 has the same connection to the Lunar New Year as 2025. Okay. In 2017, it was January 28th, but the connection is January 29th new moon connected to 2025. January 29th, the year of the snake. Okay, now we have been talking to you about Rabbi KADURI and the death of Rabbi KADURI connecting us to the coming of the Messiah based on his prophecies about Ariel Sharon. And also, he was the rabbi who met the Messiah and gave the name of the Messiah, Yeshua, to Israel before he died. Left a letter so that after he died, it could be revealed to Israel that their Messiah was Yeshua. Okay. Well, he died in 2006 on January 28th, and this is the only other year that connects us with January 29th being the Lunar New Year, just like it is in 2025. So there is a very important connection from the death of Rabbi KADURI to where we are now based on the Lunar New Year, the exact same day in both years, 2006 and 2025. And so we have been sharing very important information about Stargate is the gate of the prince, AI, artificial intelligence, a city in the Bible, AI, that means desolation, connected to the age of Donald Trump when he presented Stargate. He was 28,711 days, and he said he was down there on 7/11 when he saw the towers fall. 7 days later would be a 7-day warning to January 28th. Genesis 7:11, the beginning of the flood, connected to the blue moon, dark phase of the moon, just as there was on January 1st to January 28th, January 29th, connected to the 128 code, January 28th. Everything else we've been watching for a long, long time about the 128 code. We have Holocaust Memorial Day, the closing of Auschwitz, January 27th, 1945, 80 years. Someone mentioned that this corpse flower has the smell of death, and the survivors from Auschwitz can remember the smell of death 80 years ago. All of this connected to Stargate, the Giants, the 7/11 flood, Auschwitz, KADURI, the Stargate code of 128. I was talking to my friend Anthony Patch, and I was sharing with him about the 128 code. I was talking about dates and events that connect us with the 128 code. And he interjected as I was sharing with him. He said it's very interesting that what we're talking about is Stargate and artificial intelligence, and that how the 128 code you're talking about connects us with the quantum code of 128 qubits that are connected with quantum computing. The quantum computing systems use a quantum code with a length of 128. And so that was interesting. I was just sharing with him a few things on a phone call about the 128 code that I am seeing, and he just interjected to me the fact that quantum computers and everything that they're going to use with artificial intelligence is connected to 128. Okay, so there's a lot of information. Stargate 128, January 28th, 128, that I'm sharing with you. So I wanted to get this piece of information out to you, connected to the Chinese New Year, connected to Rabbi KADURI, connected to iPetGoat, and connected to China. And since January 29th, 2025 will be the first day of the year of the snake, I just want to remind everybody that Donald Trump referred to himself as the snake on many different occasions.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? So I have it. Does anybody want to hear it again? You sure? Are you sure? So here it is, The Snake. It's called The Snake. They're not sending their best. On her way to work one morning.
You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the...
Down the path, along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake.
And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it.
You're like
everything is
doctor.
good.
His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. America first. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you.
It's working out very nicely. You see it at the airport, you see it all over. It's working out very nicely.
Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake.
Hey, I'm president. Hey, I'm president. Can you believe it?
Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake.
If you cross the border unlawfully, then we will prosecute you.
She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk. Very fine people on both sides. And laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk.
$3 billion, $533 million.
She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived.
This is an island surrounded by water, big water.
Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed that vicious snake.
I said, you know, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story. It's an excuse.
She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died.
If we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so.
She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight.
The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections.
But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite.
Was there a quid pro quo? The answer is yes. Everyone was in the loop.
I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die.
And President Trump has been impeached by the House of Representatives for abuse of power.
Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
All right. I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.